trying a 63-yard field goal. I don't believe this.
It's good! I don't believe it! The field goal attempt was good from 63 yards away!
Welcome back to New Orleans, everyone, where the Saints are leading the Jets 17-3 as we get set for the start of the second half. Greg Gumbel along with Dan Deerdorf, our non-believer Don Cricky. You know, I don't blame him. Who could believe it back then anyway with Tom Dempsey? 17-3 is the game score. All week long, the Jets have been talking about ball security, and probably at halftime, too. You can't blame a New York Jet defense, which has held the highest scoring team in the league to 3 points.
I'm sure if you asked Rex Ryan coming into this game, if at halftime we could limit Drew Brees to 104 yards passing and no touchdown passes, he'd say, "I'll sign me up right now." Of course, who could imagine that his quarterback is going to serve up 2 touchdowns to the New Orleans defense as easily as he did.
Coming to you, as always, in high definition. The Jets will get their hands on the football. You want another ray of light if you're a New York Jets follower? The Jets showed they can move the ball very well up and down the field in the first half on offense.
And they put some points on the board, so they're still in this game. It's far from over.
Leon Washington going to run this one out from 2 yards deep. Not going to get back to the 15-yard line. Courtney Roby, number 15, making the stop. So onto the field comes Mark Sanchez. His numbers in the first half, 9 out of 14. Made reference to this earlier, Dan, that when we talked with Brian Schottenheimer, he says there really isn't anything he would hold back. They said they like how courageous he is. We tell him he has to be smart, too.
Well, he is a rookie. You knew moments like this were going to come. It's inevitable, but you got to recover from them.
And he's going to throw on first down, and he goes down. Charles Grant again, 3rd sack of the day of Sanchez.
Well, this is when it's very difficult to be an offensive lineman because they're not really respecting the running game, and Damian Woody has got the blocking responsibility, but he catches his feet. He gets pushed back to the inside, and then his legs give out on him. Charles Grant just overpowered Woody, and Mark Sanchez again, no place to go.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Pump fake over the middle, and that's complete across the 30, and a penalty marker is down. Dustin Keller with the catch.
And that was a laser from Mark Sanchez.
Now let's check the flag.
Personal foul, helmet-to-helmet contact, number 42 defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Sharper.
Well, Darren Sharper, the free safety, he's coming in there from the left. Boy, that looked to me like that looked like a lot of shoulder. Let's look at it from this angle. Man, I think he hit him more with the shoulder than he did with the helmet.
I think you're right.
I don't think that's you can understand what the back judge saw, but I think Darren Sharper intended to hit with the shoulder and did hit with the shoulder.
There's Sean Green, the rookie, and he will get to midfield for a pickup of about 3. Well, you talk about a big penalty. It was a 23-yard gain, 15 yards added on for a 38-yard pickup for the Jet offense. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I think that we saw Darren Sharper looking up at the video replay board. I'm sure he's thinking to himself, well, I'm probably going to get fined for a helmet-to-helmet, but I just don't think that was helmet-to-helmet.
Sean Green is the leading rusher on the day for the Jets.
Grant looks like he's lined up offside.
2nd and 7. Sanchez on the move, rolling, throws it away.
Actually, it was Bobby McCray, the left defensive end. He looked to me like he was down in his stance with his helmet clear into the neutral zone.
Go back and take a look at Darren Sharper's hit one more time.
I mean, I'm giving you my opinion, but that, to me, the helmet is off to the side. That's just not you can't avoid all contact with your helmet. It can't be done. You're moving at full speed. I think he hit 90% of that contact was with the shoulder.
3rd and 7. Play clock down to 2. Sanchez gets the snap, under pressure, throws to the near side, broken up. Jabari Greer broke up the pass intended for Jericho Cotchery, and the Jets will kick.
Boy, and Mark Sanchez stood in there. He knew he was going to get popped. There's the blitzer coming in from the backside. Harper, he's not accounted for. All the blocking is going to the front side. Harper does a good job of going by and making it mostly an arm tackle, but Sanchez bounced off the field pretty good.
Reggie Bush deep for Weatherford's kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 14-yard line. And that's where the Saints will put it in play right after this.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
You know, we made mention of the fact that the Jets defense has played well, but to the naked eye, you'd have to say the Saints have been applying more quarterback pressure today than the Jets have.
Yes, they have, but the Jets nonetheless have been effective. But you're right.
Breeze on 1st down. Pump fake. Throw it. Incomplete. Almost. A pretty good catch on the near side by Marcus Colston.
Well, Drew Brees, this is a classic, what you call a back shoulder throw. You're putting it to where the receiver makes the adjustment back because of the cover of Darrelle Revis. And just a beautiful throw, but Colston trying to pull the ball in just loses the handle on it, and it drops.
Breeze 0 for his last 4 throwing. Going to throw it again. Setting up a little short pass to the near side with Pierre Thomas, and he is wrapped up at the 15-yard line by Kerry Rhodes.
And again, you look at how sound this Jets defense is. Drew Brees is not finding people running around here. You know, the cover, he's had to check down a great deal, and more often than not, when he has checked down, there's been a Jets defender right there on top of him. What an improvement from a year ago. What Rex Ryan has done with this defensive football team. Yes, they've had a couple of good additions, but man, the enthusiasm and their attention to detail off the charts.
Now Breeze has Reggie Bush in the backfield on 3rd and 8. Breeze over the middle. Knocked down, incomplete. Darrelle Revis with the play. Robert Meacham, the intended receiver.
See, Darrelle Revis is locking up on Marcus Colston unless Colston goes into the slot. And in that situation, Revis is going to stay outside. And he just saw that coming the whole way. He just timed it at the last minute to just take that left arm and deftly reach in there and knock it away from Meacham.
Jim Leonard back at his own 36-yard line for the kick. High and short. And it takes a New Orleans bounce into Jet territory. And it's going to come to rest at about the 42.5-yard line. 41-yard punt. Sanchez and the Jets back on offense right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Approaching Cafe Du Monde, the streets of New Orleans, and Dan Deerdorf's personal chariot awaits.
I know that all is right with the world. I had my shrimp po' boy from Mother's. That's all that matters. Life is smooth sailing from here on out.
Land of my birth.
That's right. Your hometown.
Every other person in the stands is a relative. Here are the Jets. 1st down now at their own 43-yard line. Sanchez would start with a handoff to Thomas Jones. And a little burst across the 45 to about the 48.
Well, you got 4 number 1s on that offensive line of the Jets. This is a time to earn some money, because this game is still there. This game is still there to be had. You go down there and you score on this drive, you've got a chance to make it a one-possession game if you can somehow work your way into the end zone. And we just barely started the third quarter.
That 6-yard run, Thomas Jones' longest of the day. We'll get another shot here, left side, across midfield and into New Orleans territory. And we head to New York and say hello to James Brown. JB?
Greg, down to your territory in Miami. Buffalo Bills at Miami. Take a look at Chad Henne hooking up here with the rookie Brian Hartline. A little 5-yard strike, capping a 12-play, 65-yard drive, 24-3. Miami over Buffalo. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf.
And New England a winner earlier. Miami trying to get on the winning side of the ledger. The Jets trying to stay ahead of the Patriots. 3rd and 1. Sanchez going to throw for it, incomplete.
Well, Randall Gay has been around the NFL for a long time. Played his college ball right up the road in Baton Rouge, and he is just all over Chancey Stuckey. That's one of those predetermined routes. You're just going to raise up and throw it. And the Jets offensively just can't seem to get any mojo.
Lance Moore standing back at his 10-yard line. Weatherford lofts it up. And goes into the end zone for a touchback. Tried for that out-of-bounds line inside the 5, just didn't quite get it. Hey, remember, tomorrow CSI Miami, there's a cougar on the loose. She's ready for action. It's a new CSI Miami tomorrow here on CBS, America's most watched network.
He grabbed my parade.
This is Pierre Thomas. Pierre Thomas cutting back inside. Has a first down across the 30. We have a late flag in the backfield.
Holding, number 73 offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Right guard Jerry Evans.
Sean Payton thinks that Jari Evans is the best right guard in football. He couldn't be any higher on his talented right guard. And of course, he's also got another good one on the other side in Carl Nix. Made the all-rookie team last year as a first-year guy. So
And these two coaches, Sean Payton, Rex Ryan, you sit, you talk to them, you want to suit up and go out.
well, and you know something? If you put the two of them in a room together, you know they would really like each other. They're similar in a lot of ways.
Breeze, gonna throw over the middle to the 30-yard line is Jeremy Shockey. That is a first down.
Well, and Jeremy Shockey, who battled injuries all of last year, didn't even get in the end zone once. We know what kind of talent this guy has. We saw it for years with the Giants, 4 times a Pro Bowler. And again, he's just a complement to this offense. You like that. You like to see a guy with 100% completion percentage there, thrown 2-3, 3 receptions to show for it.
First down, here's Reggie Bush. And loose football. Jets say they have it.
Reggie with a rather weak attempt at saying I was down. That was one of the more half-hearted attempts I've ever seen by a running back to say that he was down.
Dwight Lowery made the recovery.
Let's watch it. Well, that's why it was a half-hearted attempt. The ball came out well before Reggie Bush's knee touches the ground. He's losing it right there.
And Dwight Lowery says, look what's bouncing to me.
And see, look at the ball. Yeah, he's not down. Not close to being down.
That's the second fumble lost by Reggie Bush here in the 09 season, and it sets the Jets up.
Well, you don't get this.
34.
Greg, you don't get this many opportunities when you're behind. The Jets have to capitalize here.
Knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Charles Grant, who is just playing a whale of a football game.
No kidding. A couple of sacks. Now he gets a batted pass. A nice adjustment at the very end by Grant. He's moving to his right, but he has enough wherewithal to elevate and get his left hand up there and enough eye-hand coordination to get a hand on the ball.
2nd and 10. Jones. Inside the 30, just barely. Vilma and Greer making the stop. You know, Jonathan Vilma, they are so happy to have him here in New Orleans, and he's an ex-New York Jet.
Well, we know what this game means to Jonathan Vilma. We talked to him about it. He and Eric Mangini could not have parted on any worse terms than they did. Vilma loved being in New York, but Mangini just didn't think that he fit his system at all.
Sanchez trying to make something happen on 3rd and 6. Throws far side. This is Leon Washington. First down and more. Inside the 20 to about the 15-yard line.
A well-designed and well-executed quick screen. Good look off by Mark Sanchez. Sanchez comes back. He gets a nice block on the outside by Kotchery. And then DeBrickashaw Ferguson for the big guy. Look at him getting downfield and getting in on the action. Nice call by Schottenheimer.
First down from the 15. Jones to the 10. 5. Touchdown.
We got a game. The Jets did what they had to do. Reggie Bush made the mistake, and they made the Saints pay for it.
Thomas Jones' 3rd rushing touchdown of the season.
Nice little cutback right here by Jones, and then he sees that crease. Excellent job by the offensive line.
Sanchez and the Jets go 34 yards in 1:16. And the extra point is good. 7 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the 3rd. As you said, Dan, the Jets are right back in it. The Saints 17 and the Jets 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Monsters vs. Aliens. Get the hit movie plus Bob's all-new 3D adventure in the double DVD pack today. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back to the Superdome. Reggie Bush lost the fumble that resulted in a Jets touchdown. 17-10 as we welcome you back to the Superdome in New Orleans, home of Pete Fountain, Louis Armstrong, Al Hurt, Neville Brothers.
The Gumble Brothers?
The Gumble Brothers.
They were quite an act.
Just shows you can't all be good. Courtney Roby going to watch this one sail into the end zone, and he'll cover it there. And it's a touchback. They'll start from the 20-yard line while we have a moment. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS rocks doubleheader games, including the Raiders and the Giants. Dan and I will be there. The Super Bowl Steelers at Detroit, or the Patriots tackle the Broncos. Check the local listings. It all begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time. What a cast of group. What a cast of characters.
Man, what a bunch of tall guys.
You know they all want us to bring them beignets back.
This crowd at the Superdome is sitting on their hands right now.
From the 20, Pierre Thomas running with 25, 30, 35, and out to about the 38 or the 39-yard line. Pierre Thomas came into the game at Buffalo in the second half and had 126 yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries.
Take a look at that massive shift by the Jets defensively. You'll see it a lot of times. They make a big adjustment like that, and all of a sudden there's a hole, and then Jim Leonard comes in. Rather than trying to wrap up, he goes for the cut down by the ankles and slides underneath.
Thomas again. Thomas out to the 45, where David Harris and Mike DeVito combined to wrap him up.
Well, Sean Payton showed everybody last week that as much as he loves to throw the football, when he's in a jam, he will hand it to a running back. And they've got quite a group of them here. You know, Mike Bell, their leading rusher, he's sitting this one out. He's missed the last couple of games. He hurt his MCL back in the Philadelphia game. So it's the second week of the season. But last week, Pierre Thomas was the hero, but they gave him a chance.
On 2nd and 3, here's Thomas again. down and more inside the Jet 40 to about the 37-yard line. And Pierre Thomas eating up yardage like it's lunch.
Yeah, we're talking about huge holes. It's not like he's breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage. Take a look at that thing. David Harris gets pinned to the inside, Golston to the outside. Look at Pierre Thomas. He is like 12 yards downfield before he has to even make a cut. Chris Jenkins slants to the inside, but that takes him way out of the play.
First down now at the 37. Breeze flips it out to Shockey. And Jim Leonard. Jeremy Shockey, 6'5", 251. Jim Leonard at 5'8", 186.
Leonard got him finally. That was a nice call by Sean Payton, though, after a couple of very successful runs. Go with the play action. Drew all the Jets linebackers up into the holes around the line of scrimmage, and then Breeze breaks contain.
Second and 5, back to the ground game, back to Pierre Thomas, and this time he gets stacked up at about 32.5. DeVito again in on the play, this time with Marcus Morrell.
And Morrell and DeVito both did a good job of relocating the line of scrimmage. They got on the other side of the ball. Thomas had no shot.
And in our conversations with Rex Ryan, as tough as this Jet defense has been this season, they get Calvin Pace back on Monday.
And Calvin Pace is probably their best pass rusher. And he's able to report to the complex tomorrow morning, and Rex Ryan will welcome him with wide open arms.
Reggie Bush in there on 3rd and 5. Bush inside the 30 and very close to a first down.
Reggie Bush, a little ball security on this carry, wouldn't you say? Look, check this out. Both hands on the football, and neither hand ever comes off of the ball. That is not a look that we're used to seeing from the flashy Reggie Bush.
And we're going to get a measurement here. Looks to be a little short from here.
Be my guess.
It's a little short. 4th down. What's Sean Payton going to do?
Well, it'll be about a 46, 47-yard field goal. It would give the Jets good field position if they missed.
Drew Brees is still on the field.
Carney's longest field goal made this year is 39 yards.
They'll go for it.
Yeah, I think that's just at a point where Sean Payton's thinking, Carney, that's on the outer limits of his effectiveness.
4th and inches. Heath Evans, the fullback. Pierre Thomas lining up behind it. It's Thomas. Let's see where they spot this ball. I think they're short again.
Bart Scott there at the bottom, sauntering over towards the Saints bench. He's talking to Gary. He's talking to Sean Payton, I think. He looks like he's talking to the Saints head coach. Payton, of course, is paying no attention to him.
Looks like Sean Payton is calling the next play. He thinks he's made it. Not even close.
No, not even close. Boy, once again, Rex's defense comes up big for the Jets.
Jets opponents are 0 for 6 on 4th down this year. 0 for 2 today.
Welcome back to New Orleans. An unorthodox look by the Jets. Only 3 down linemen, but nonetheless, they stuffed the line of scrimmage. Boa, Jenkins, Sean Ellis, man, did they jam it up.
You can't say enough about the Jet defense and their performance here today. 17-10 Jets, 3:52 to play. Sanchez got rid of it. Keller cut down at about the 30. the Jet defense taking a well-deserved breather on the bench.
Yeah, that time the Saints had a good drive going, but then it stalled, and it stalled because of some superior work by the Jets defense. They have turned in so far a winning performance here this afternoon as we move towards the end of the third. It's the Jets offense that's put them in this hole.
On 2nd and 8, Leon Washington. Room to run across the 35 to the 36. Going to be about a yard and a half shy of a first down.
Well, the Jets right now have got to be feeling so fortunate that they're within a touchdown of tying this game, and they're starting to look like it offensively. They've got a little energy that we haven't seen in a while. If they're able to convert this 3rd and short, you might see these guys, their energy levels start to skyrocket.
On the day, the Jets 23 rushes, 24 passes. 3rd and 1. Sanchez going to throw incomplete. Stuck in the intended receiver, Randall Gay with another big play on defense.
Well, 3rd and short, where you think they might run the ball, the Jets show a lot of confidence in Mark Sanchez in going back there, and Randall Gay drove right through the Jet player to make that play.
That one never had a chance.
No, well, he got there early, but again, he got away with it.
Reggie Bush inside his own 25 for the kick from Weatherford. High, booming kick, and Bush from his 12 to the 25, 30, and forward to about the 34-yard line before he's wrestled to a stop. And again, a little bit of pushing and shoving, and a helmet rolling on the field. 2:15 to play in the third. We check in with JB in New York City. James.
Hey, Greg and Dan, already down 14-0. It gets worse for St. Louis. Kyle Bowler looking, decides to, what a move, what a toss, picked off by Patrick Willis. He returns it 23 yards to pay dirt. It is now 21-0. San Fran late in the third. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, JB, thank you.
Not a great time to be a pro football fan in the state of Missouri. Things aren't going on the east side or the west side.
Maybe you're right about that. Breeze in the Saints from their own 34. This is Pierre Thomas across the 35 to the 38.
Greg, are the Jets ever going after the football? One guy's trying to make the tackle, and 2 guys are coming in going for the strip.
Remember, we were talking with Rex last night. We said, well, this is a league that adjusts, and do you think that you have to change as you go along? He goes, no.
No, Rex changes for no one. And he's got his scheme, and he thinks it works against everything. He may tweak it, but he'll never modify it that much.
Breeze to throw on 2nd and 6. Has time, pulls it down. He's going to run. Dodging tacklers and across the 45 for a first down.
He's done that his entire career. Got a modest response from the crowd. But Drew Brees is so good on his feet. He's just got, you ask any player around the league about his pocket presence, but that's, he made the decision that he was going to run for it. And once he did that, you have to admit, he's pretty nimble on his feet.
I don't know who's done more embracing, Breeze of the city or the city of Drew Brees.
It is a mutual love affair they've got going.
Breeze going to throw. Has time. Throws far sideline. Almost picked off. Darrelle Revis was there.
Well, Marcus Colston is number 12. Great jam by Darrelle Revis. But look at him. I'm really shocked that Drew Brees made that throw. I am really surprised.
You wonder what he saw over there.
I don't know. Revis had the superior position. He looked more like the receiver than Colston did.
Revis Island looking pretty good once again today. 2nd and 10. This is Pierre Thomas. Wrapped up at the 47.
I know we're only 25% of the way through the season after today, but if Darrelle Revis isn't a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro at the end of this year. There've been some voters then that haven't seen the Jets play. If he continues this type of performance for the balance of the season, I think Nnamdi Asomugha of the Raiders is on a certain level, and Darrelle Revis has joined him. That level used to be occupied by Champ Bailey, but I'm not sure he's still there.
Here's a big 3rd and 8 facing Breeze. Pass is complete to the near side to Devery Henderson, and he's going to be brought down short of the first down. 4th down upcoming. With that, we come to the end of 3. 17-10 Saints. Back after this message and a word from your local station. And we are underway in New Orleans. Sanchez throwing, intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darren Sharper. Jones, touchdown.
We got a game.
Welcome back to New Orleans for the start of the 4th quarter. The rookie punter, Thomas Morstead, will try to pin the Jets deep in their own territory. Leonard makes the catch at the 10-yard line. So that is where Sanchez and company will get started. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, our producer Mark Wolf, our director Bob Fishman, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew here in the Big Easy.
And the crowd is a little uneasy after the New Orleans stalled at 17 points, and again, they're not used to this. The New Orleans offense has contributed a field goal, which they did on the opening drive of the game.
It's become pretty apparent that the most noise the Jets heard this week was at their own practice session.
A very good observation.
Although they're getting a little noisy now with the Jets down at their own 10. Thomas Jones. You made a point of asking Rex Ryan about breaking Thomas Jones free one of these days very soon.
Yeah, and it's been a frustration for the Jets that they just haven't gotten the running game going as much as they would like. Now they know a lot of that is because of Mark Sanchez, that they're facing 8 guys in the box, that they're intentionally doing that, daring the Jets to throw.
Jones again across the 15 and out to about the 18-yard line where Darren Sharper came up to make the stop, and it'll be 3rd and about 2.
Well, and there's a good look at the fact that Sharper, the free safety, made that tackle at about 1 yard into their own territory right there. That's how close he was playing to the line, how quickly he supports.
Here come the Saints fans. 3rd and 2. Never got close to the first down. Scott Fujita, Bobby McCray led the charge.
At the snap of this ball, there were 9 Saints within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. That is just, those are odds that it's tough to top, tough to beat.
Reggie Bush back at his own 45. Steve Weatherford trying to kick the Jets out of trouble. High floater, far sideline. Fair catch called for. Then he let it bounce, and it took a Jets bounce inside the 30 all the way to the 26-yard line. That's only a 56-yard punt for Steve Weatherford. Not too bad.
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
And coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Subway postgame show. That's a Jet fan in full gear.
I'm sure he knows what's happening.
From the 26-yard line, Breeze going to give it to Pierre Thomas, and Thomas maybe a yard. You know, we said it before, it bears repeating. This New York Jet defense has held the #1 offense in the league to 3 points.
Well, and keep in mind that Drew Brees at this point is 14 of 26 for 138 yards with 0 touchdowns. Since that first drive, check it out. 7 possessions, 4 punts, 2 downs, and 2 on downs and a fumble.
2nd and 9. Breeze under pressure. Throws for Bush. Pollard at about the 30-yard line. Kerry Rhodes up from the safety position.
Well, again, we've talked all game about how well Drew Brees moves. Take a look how he makes people miss and then just flicks that back. How close is this ball to being on the ground? Well, it's on the ground, but the question is it in the control of Reggie Bush? The ball can touch the ground if it's under control. Not often you see the ball on the ground that much and still under control, but the Jets apparently aren't going to challenge.
On 3rd and 6, Breeze got rid of it, throwing and hit his man across the 45. David Thomas with the catch.
Well, instead of Jeremy Shockey, it's David Thomas. And again, it's Drew Brees letting everybody get in on the action. He split out as a wide receiver, even though he's a tight end. And Bart Scott went for the big hit and the big jam at the line of scrimmage and missed. A really good job of Thomas of eluding Bart Scott at the line. And Brees found him.
18-yard pickup. 1st down, New Orleans at their own 48. 10:45 to play in regulation. Thomas into Jets territory and then some. To the 45.
You know, Pierre Thomas was the leading rusher for the Saints last year. The guy scored 9 touchdowns. And there's hardly enough room for people after Mike Bell and Reggie Bush and all the attention they get. But Pierre Thomas, he's
and another one of those guys who was undrafted, and you wonder just how did that happen?
Yeah, a free agent, played his college ball for the Fighting Illini, Illinois.
13 carries, 62 yards today for Thomas. 2 tight ends on 2nd and 3. The give is to Thomas. And he'll be short of the 1st down. About 2 yards short. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Brian Schottenheimer and Mark Sanchez going over what they're going to try to do on the next possession. I'm sure right now it's a game that's still winnable, but in the back of Mark Sanchez's mind, there's got to be a lot of disappointment in putting his team in a hole, especially realizing how well their defense is playing.
Reggie Bush on the field, 3rd and 2. On the roll, pass is complete, and did he make the 1st down? Lance Moore was hit.
I don't think so.
By Drew Coleman.
Lance Moore has got to run this pattern. He makes a sensational catch, but he's got to run that pattern another yard or 2 deeper.
And they're lining up for 4th down right here. 4th and 1. And he's going to sneak it, but there is a whistle, and the Jets call timeout.
Before the snap,
Sean Payton's
timeout,
that
New York Jets.
timeout didn't get called in time, but
Rex said, no, come on, I called it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. To us, nothing's more important than being there. Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL. And by Bud Light, with the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability.
well, who called that last timeout for the New York Jets? Let's look right there. There's Rex Ryan. He's calling it right now, and the official blows the whistle and grants it to him about a nanosecond before the snap of that football.
Now there's a challenge flag down on the Jets side of the field. And the play has not been run yet, so if it's on the previous play, Rex still has the right to challenge it. Bill Levy.
Can't call back-to-back timeouts.
There is no challenge on the previous play. 4th down.
I thought it was very close as to whether or not there was a false start if the entire Saints defense was set prior to the snap, but the snap never happened.
Right. Meanwhile, the Jets have held the Saints on 4th down today. 0 for 2 today. The opponents are 0 for 6 on 4th down conversion attempts on the season. This is a big one. That'll be an easy first. Chris Jenkins.
Great encroachment in the 77 defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The hard count on his cadence. Let's listen in. That's called a hard count, and Drew Brees did it to perfection.
Moves the line of scrimmage now to the Jet 37. First down for New Orleans. They lead 17-10, 9:06 to play in the 4th. Brees. Little shoulder pass straight ahead. Loose ball. Looked like it bounced right back to the Saints.
Pierre Thomas, he had it, turned to do something with it, and then it got knocked out of his hands. I think David Harris might have been the Jet that got a hit, and Drew Brees has no helmet.
But he has the ball.
I tell you, is this guy active or what? We saw him earlier in the game get a block on an end around. Yep, David Harris with the right hand knocks the ball loose. And Drew Brees had a helmet on his head going into that scrum. Came out without one.
2nd and 10. Heath Evans, first man through. Down to the
31. That's winning football. That is why the Jets right now are 3-0 and are still in this game, even with an offense that's given up 2 touchdowns. That is most impressive.
Mark Sanchez sneaks a peek at the clock. Coming up on 7:45 to play. And Drew Brees is going to call a timeout here after he lets a few more ticks off the clock. 7:41 to play in the 4th quarter. New Orleans uses their first timeout of the 2nd half. They lead by 7. Back at the Superdome, 7:41 to play in the 4th quarter. 2 timeouts remaining for each team. New Orleans looking at a 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Brees on the slant. Hit his man inside the 20. Inside the 15 to the 12 is Robert Meacham.
It's one of the things that Sean Payton and Drew Brees both talked about. The confidence that Brees has in so many receivers other than Marcus Colston. Colston gets so much publicity, and that is just good concentration, a perfect throw. Drew Coleman did everything he could do to try to prevent that completion. But the Saints team has a lot of quality wideouts.
And now from the 12. Fake to Thomas. Brees throws inside the 10. Evans to the 2. That's very close to a 1st and goal.
And that's where Drew Brees ought to walk up to Heath Evans and say thank you very much. Because that was not my best throw of the day. Not by a long shot. Look at this. He throws it low and back behind Evans, who goes back and snags it with one hand and pulls it in as he's running the other direction.
1st and goal from the 1 for New Orleans. Thomas and Evans in the backfield. Thomas. We have penalty markers down.
And some of them early, some of them late.
12 men on defense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
There are 3 flags in the end zone, and that's why.
Half the distance to the end zone. First and goal from the half-yard line. Pierre Thomas, touchdown.
Nice job, Pete. Hey, good job. Let's go on.
Now, nothing fancy there. Good old-fashioned power football. Good blocking on the line, a good lead block, good hard running.
First offensive touchdown on the board by the New Orleans Saints today. John Carney's kick is good. From a half-yard out, Pierre Thomas makes it Saints 24. And the Jets 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Ford F-150, built Ford tough, and by the newest $5 footlong. Try the spicy buffalo chicken footlong. Subway, eat fresh.
Back at a noisier Superdome than it's been most of the day. New Orleans goes 74 yards in 11 plays. Pierre Thomas the touchdown, and now the Jets will look for a boost from special teams. Leon Washington with 4 career kickoff returns for touchdown. Will not get a chance to return this one. It'll come out to the 20-yard line on the touchback. Tonight.
Well, Greg Williams will bring the heat now.
Play fake to Jones. Sanchez got his man over the middle out to the 40. It's Cotchery to the 45 and forward to about the 47-yard line.
Well, I was wrong. He only came with a 4-man rush. It was ably blocked by the Jets. And given the time, Sanchez found a wide open receiver.
4 for 54 on the day for Cotchery.
We'll see if New Orleans adjusts their strategy.
27-yard pickup. Coming up on 5.5 to play.
A lot of folks up there now.
Play fake to Leon Washington. Sanchez throws far sideline. That is complete, just short of the 35-yard line to Cotchery again.
Well, they had 8 guys on the line and dropped 4 of them out of there. Again, only came with 4, and a good job of protection. Sanchez is finding his guys. That time, Cotchery spun Jabari Greer all the way around. He played him for the deep route. And here go the Saints, giving up big chunks.
15-yard pickup that time. First down at the 36. Sanchez, quick pass out here, incomplete. Randall Gay came roaring in to break up the play.
Well, this ball from Mark Sanchez, if you take a look at it, it just really sailed on him. And Chancey Stuckey came really close to getting hurt. That ball from Sanchez just got away from him high, downfield, no chance of Stuckey catching it.
Sanchez under pressure and goes down at midfield.
Well, it's the same look the Saints gave Sanchez the last 3 times with 8 guys on the line. Only this this time, all 8 of them come. Take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right there. The previous 2 times, 4 of them bailed out. This time, all 8 come. There's Will Smith working over there on the other side against the Brickashaw Ferguson. Sanchez had to give ground. Smothered.
4 sacks of Sanchez today. 3rd and 21. Sanchez steps up. Time. Looking. Running out of time. Throws over the middle. That's intercepted at the 30. That man Sharper again.
Darren Sharper with his 5th interception of this season. That time Williams changed it up and only came with 3. There are only 3 Saints rushers, 8 back in coverage. That's why Mark Sanchez can't find anybody and just trying to make something happen. Just trying to make it happen. And Darren Sharper reads it all the way. He's had, man, what a day he's had and what a start to his season
he's having.
Yeah.
Sanchez's 2nd interception, his 3rd turnover of the day. And with 4:09 to play, New Orleans in charge with the football in a 24-10 lead. This is Pierre Thomas. Out to his own 47 and a 1st down.
You know, Darren Sharper, we talked about the free agent acquisitions for the Jets. He's not a bad little pickup for the Saints, is he? After 8 years in Green Bay and a 4-year stint with the Vikings after that, he decided to stay in the NFC, and man, I think New Orleans are pretty pleased to have a backstop like that.
Meanwhile, Pierre Thomas again with the 2nd half heroics. 79 yards rushing today, 74 here in the 2nd half. Thomas again into Jet territory at the 49. Clock continues to move. 3:15 to play.
Well, the Saints talked last week about how pleased they were that they won ugly up in Buffalo. That they didn't win the conventional way. Drew Brees didn't have a big passing day, just like he's not having one today, but they won it by playing good defense. They won it by running the football, and Sean Payton was thrilled about that. And you know what? Another one. This is going to be a classic case of when it's over, you just say, not how, but how many. And for the Saints, that appears to be 4. 4-0.
This time Thomas appeared to lose a yard. And unless the Jets stop the clock with a timeout, New Orleans will take this down to the 2-minute warning. Pierre Thomas had 126 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 2nd half at Buffalo last week. And he's put in a pretty good job on the ground in the 2nd half here today.
And Greg, as we head to the 2-minute warning, never have I seen so many football players look so good in pink.
2 minutes to play here in New Orleans. Third and 7 for the Saints at midfield. And Drew Brees may have gotten his own guy on that.
Yeah. False start, number 77 offense.
Carl Nix is
5-yard
left guard.
penalty, 3rd down.
Go back to the huddle going, man, that guy is good.
I'm telling you, it happens a lot. As much as you know it's coming, sometimes that quarterback's only about 2 feet away and he barks it and screams it at such a volume that you twitch.
Third and 12. Pierre Thomas. 12-49. You know, Sean Payton was telling us yesterday, Dan, that Sometimes a coach has to work really hard to get his team up. He didn't have to work that hard to get them up for the Jets.
No, he didn't. He said, "This, play a 3-0 team. That's all you need."
Hey, what happened around the NFL today? Well, for starters, the New England Patriots outlasted the Baltimore Ravens. Knocked them off 27-21, and they will pull into a first-place tie with the Jets in the AFC East. The Giants crushed Kansas City. And the Cincinnati Bengals, in overtime, moved to 3-1 with a victory over the Cleveland Browns.
And, how about I got an anti-headline for you. Can you believe that the team with the best record in the regular season last year at 13-3 is 0-4?
The Tennessee Titans, Dan, I'll have to tell you, I can hardly believe it. I just can't believe it. I'm sure Jeff Fisher can't believe it. 4th and 8. Fair catch called for and made at about the 17 or 18-yard line.
Well, Mark Sanchez has had a day that you knew was coming sooner or later. We'd like to forget it. Darren Sharper returned that interception 99 yards for a touchdown. He then held the ball too long in his own end zone. He got stripped. Adele fell on it for a touchdown, and then just trying to make something happen. That's just being overly aggressive. That mistake not the equal of the first two.
He had 4 turnovers in the first 3 games of the season. He's had 3 today. He's tripped up as he crosses the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Bobby McCray, who's played a pretty good football game himself.
Boy, but he's got some scrap in him, doesn't he? Do you see him fighting to get up right there and get back to the line of scrimmage? This kid he's a competitor.
1:25 to play. Sanchez got rid of it, intercepted. Picked off by Randall Gay. Inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Mark was under tremendous pressure there. He's got a blitz coming right in his face. He knows it's coming off the corner. And trying to get rid of it in a hurry just made a bad decision.
That was a throw it and duck.
Yeah. And of course, if you're a defensive back now, you're sitting on every route. Take a look coming right off the corner. He sees it coming right at him, and he has no... Well, he had choices, and he made a poor one.
Pretty good break on the ball by Randall Gay.
And Greg Williams there in the beige hat, congratulating all his defenders. What a great game plan he had today.
3rd interception of Sanchez today, the 4th time he's turned the football over. And he will taste defeat for the first time in the National Football League.
And New Orleans, I think, they proved what we all know. They're one of the upper echelon teams. They're right there with the Giants, I think, and maybe Minnesota as the cream of the NFC.
Sean Payton said, let's face it, whether every team thinks they can win the Super Bowl or not, the fact is there are 10 really good ones, and then there are 22. He says, I'm pretty sure we're one of the 10.
There's no argument about that.
For the Saints, their first 4-0 start since 1993 is just 36 seconds away. And that'll do it. Their only other 4-0 start was back in 1991. They go to 4-0 with a 24-10 victory over the New York Jets. Impressive football team, Dan.
Yes, they are. They're good in all 3 phases. And for the New York Jets and Mark Sanchez, you know what? This was going to happen sooner or later. Better it happens on the road against a really good team.
There's our final score, 20 Deerdorf. For the rest of our CBS Sports crew in New Orleans, I'm Greg Gumbel. So long from the Superdome. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 44.
And now, here's the Geico Play of the Day. With the Jets driving, Saints safety Darren Sharper picked off Mark Sanchez and returned it 99 yards for the touchdown, his second 95-plus yard interception return of the season. The score gave the Saints a 10-0 second quarter lead over the Jets.
Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.